Hello everyone, this is James Shore with another test-driven development video. It is August 25th. I'm picking up where I left off in the last episode. What we're working on here is getting a new menu item into the application so that we can start doing some file-based persistence. Now the persistence we're planning on doing right now is not database persistence, but file-based persistence, because this is a desktop application and that is the metaphor that seems to make more sense to me. Now that file could be a database. We haven't actually created any files yet, so it could be whatever we want. But my feeling is that a database will be more complex than we need to start with. So we're going to start with just a simple file, I think. We haven't gotten there yet. But we're about to, because we've gotten the new menu item in place, no actions on it yet. Now it's time to actually make it do something. And the new menu item isn't going to create files. That's what save or save as is for. But it will create a new window, and that's going to be cool because we've never done that before. So at least not in this application. So let's get to it. What we need to do is we need the new menu item to create a new application frame. And when we do that, all kinds of interesting issues come up related to global variables. If we've been bad and we've used global variables, then changing one of those windows will affect the other. If we've been good and haven't used global variables, then we'll be just fine. I think we've been good, but up till now it hasn't been an issue, so we could have screwed it up. And there's the age-old question of how do we test this? I don't know. So let's see. To start with, we need an action listener in order to do something. That action lister is going to actually determine what happens. So in our test, so we've got it saying it has a menu. That's fine. We're saying it should lay out properly. That's fine. Saying that should do the right thing. Now I want to say the new menu item should create a new window, which is a frame, but I think window is the more common understanding here. So in here we need to check if there is a new frame. We need to push the button or click the menu item somehow. That's really it. We need to click the menu item, check if there's a new frame. That's what we're going to do. So to start with, let's check if there's a new frame. That seems a little bit easier to me. Well, in a sense, come to think of it, I don't know how to, that's a global concept. How many frames are there in the system? I'm going to pause the video a little bit for a moment, and I'm going to go search Swing and Google and Stack Overflow and stuff and see what I can find. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. I think that what I want is this method called getFrames, which is a static method on frames. Not being a Swing guy, I may have made a mistake. If I have, please let me know in the comments. But what we can do is we can say that beforehand there should just be one of these. Before clicking new, we expect there to be one JFrame. Actually, in this case, there should be 0 JFrames, because I think when the test is running, we haven't done anything, so there should just be 0. I'm not sure, actually. We do create one. Yeah, in setup. Okay, so there should be 1. And this is something we'll definitely have to test manually. So that should pass, I hope, if I understand what's going on here. No. Right. It's giving us an array or something. Yeah, it's an array. Expected one was 7. Interesting. I think we've just revealed a fairly substantial defect in our code, which is that we're not closing these frames when we're done with them. How do we get rid of it? Dispose. Cool. Well, that was a little defect in our test. Not a significant one, but still important. Oh, look at that. It's going a lot slower now. And still giving us 7. Look how slow it's running through those frame tests. Interesting. I'm not sure I've got the right thing here. What would happen if we commented this out and actually just ran that bit of code once? Interesting. Okay, so it's not this that's the problem. I'm guessing it's garbage collecting or something. Although that's also dangerous. We can't rely on the garbage collector to do the right thing. What happens if we only run this set of tests? Was 117. What happens if we just run this one little test? Then it works. Okay. So what's happening is we're creating... Are we creating new application frames anywhere? I don't see it. No, we're not creating new ones, but I'll bet you, how many tests do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm guessing JUnit's just running them in order of declaration, which is why we have 7 here. So what would happen if we commented out all but one of them? And of course ours. Now I'm expecting to say expected 1 was 2. Yep. And if I took these two out, it should say expected 1 was 4. Yep. Okay, so we're definitely not cleaning up after ourselves. Interesting. How do we clean up after ourselves? Yeah, look at that. I wonder what kind of implications this has for what's happening inside of our tests. If we might start to see random failures in the future as a result of not cleaning up our swing stuff appropriately. So inside of frame, we've got dispose, but other stuff as well. I'm going to go ahead and do some more research into this offline. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. I haven't found anything yet, but I do wonder if, a bad practice I've had for years, or not, sorry, bad practice I've had ever since I started recording and doing the swing stuff is I haven't been running my tests in the actual swing thread, I don't think. And it could be that that's what's killing me here. Because I think if I were disposing that frame, the frame count should go down. So I think I need to do swing utilities.invoke and wait on the dispose method, and actually I should do that on everything. I'm gonna pause actually and look into this a little bit further. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back again. So I want to run. All along I should have been running all of my swing tests on the event dispatch thread, and lazily wasn't doing it. There's a really cool idea on Jens Schauder's blog, if I'm pronouncing that right, where he's using an @rule annotation that comes with JUnit. I don't know anything about that or how it works. Something I might want to look into in the future. But first, let's just see if using the swing annotation works for me. Or the swing invoke, run and invoke later, or whatever it's called, invoke and wait. We're going to try that, but I am going to make a note to investigate the rule for that. Because that's led to some funkiness, and I've been lazily ignoring it. It's time to bring that up, I think. But before we get to that, I want to just finish the thread of what we're on now, so to speak. No pun intended. I think that closing the frame is the right thing to do. I think it's going to kill our performance of our tests, and that's really unfortunate. And I think that needs to happen on the event dispatch thread. So I need to do swing utilities dot invoke and wait. And that takes a runnable. Which has a run method. Which throws an exception, which we can ignore because the test will fail, I believe. That should still fail in the same way. Fred's not going to like that. Oh, it's so slow. But now let's do the same thing here. And see what happens. No, still not working. Let's comment everything else out except for our test that's failing and one other test. We should see expected one was 2. And now let's put this on the event dispatch thread as well. invocation target exception. Well, that's nice and different. Not super helpful, but different. Oh, caused by, same thing. Expected one was 2. All right. Well, we're disposing like we're supposed to. I guess I'm going to have to stop and research this some more. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back once again. You know, I've not been able to crack this nut. No matter what I try, the number of frames is not decrementing, and I don't know if it's because I'm holding onto a reference in some way without realizing it. I mean, there's definitely circular references, but there shouldn't be any actual references. Of course, frame.getFrames has a reference to this, but it should be cleaning up after itself. I'm not seeing any way around this, so it may mean that I'm doing something wrong in my test, but I can't see what it is. So I'm going to get rid of this code and just, cheat a little bit. I don't want to call the dispose because, honestly, I'd rather not. It's really slow. I'm not going to do the invoke and wait just yet, although that doesn't have a slowness problem. It just makes the code really clunky, and it seems to work without it. I know I need to get it in there, but I'm not going to do it just yet. So what I'm going to do, and this is strange, but it will work, is I'm going to save off the number of frames that there are before I click new and assert that that gets 1 larger when I click new. And that will be another way of approaching this, and it should work. So what this is going to be is it's going to be an frame count equals frame.getFrames.length, and then we'll do something to click the item, and then we'll say should be number of windows should increase. So the old value was, or it should be frame count plus 1, and it actually is frame.getFrames.length. And that's going to fail. It's going to say expected 8 but was 7. And then we need to actually click it in some way. And I'm not sure how to do that. And then we need to actually code it to create the new window. The easiest thing about all this is going to be actually creating the new frame. I don't think there'll be any problem at all with that. The hard part is going to be has been the rest of it. So my timer stopped somewhere in the middle of all that, so I think we're out of time. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm going to stop here, and in the next video we'll go ahead and click the new item and write the code to make this work and see what happens. So as usual, Swing UI testing in general is a real challenge, but we will get through it. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I will catch you next time.